Hey, what's going on, guys? So I'm coming back at you with another informative video on training, and specifically how to program for chest hypertrophy, chest muscle growth. The chest is something that is a muscle group that everybody really wants to grow. It helps you look better. Benching a lot of weight is pretty fun. And so this is just, I'm going to talk about how I program for chest, what recommendations I use in my programming / evidence. So I want to preface this video by saying that this is not something I just came up with. I'm going to credit a lot of this to Dr. Hyptertophy for coining the volume landmarks and Renaissance periodization. This is me just saying what I personally do with my programming, with my clients. So hopefully this helps you guys out. I want to talk about volume per week. So basically, I'm going to talk about three main volume landmarks right here. Okay. So there are three different volume landmarks. So there's the minimum effective volume you need to see growth. There's the maximum adaptive volume, which is basically going to be defined as where you get your best chest gains, and then your maximum recoverable volume, which is basically the amount of sets you can survive doing per week. Now these are ranges, and they are not exactly set values, but I've found that they do work for the vast majority of clients and people I've worked with, and they are very, very accurate for myself. So the minimum effective volume you need to see chest growth per week is going to be about 10 sets per week. And then the maximum adaptive volumes is going to be about 12 to 20. I will throw in a caveat to that. If you are stronger than than the average Joe, let's say you can bench 405 for 405 pounds or whatever, or you have extremely you get a lot of fatigue easier because of fiber type, genetics, etc. I found that generally 12 to 18 seems to be a little bit more accurate for most people, but this is what Dr. Mike has outlined in his guides. And then the maximum recoverable volume, which is basically the amount you can actually survive and basically come back, and yeah. This is not where you want to be. Just because you're at the maximum recoverable volume doesn't mean it's better. You're going to see the most growth. Generally, you're going to see the most growth within the 12 to 20 sets per week for most people. But regardless, some people can do up to 22 sets per week and recover fine and still see gains. So that's the first. Now let's talk about exercise selection. So in terms of exercise selection, there are three different types of movements that you want to have in your program. So one is going to be a horizontal push. One horizontal push movement. So that could be a dumbbell bench press. That could be a machine chest press. That could be a barbell bench press. One vertical pushing movement, which could be inclined barbell bench press, inclined dumbbell bench press, inclined machine bench press, and then one isolation movement, which is going to be basically any fly variation: dumbbell fly, machine fly, cable fly, etc. And so that's something that you're going to want to incorporate into each one of your training cycles in general. I will throw a caveat to that. It's not necessary to have flies, but they can be a very, very easy way to have more chest volume without having as much fatigue systemically built up from doing heavy bench pressing movements. So basically, I would make the majority of your chest volume from these pushing movements because they will get you the most bang for your buck, the highest stimulus of all of these. They do also have a higher fatigue cost, and so if you want to add a little more chest volume without having as much fatigue, then that's when I would incorporate isolations. But generally, if you're in the lower end of the MEV range, let's say you're doing between 10 and 15 sets per week, the majority of that volume should be with pressing. If you are getting above that to higher volumes, then it would be more appropriate to incorporate an isolation movement. So in terms of rep ranges for heavy compound lifts, you want to be lifting in the 5 to 10 rep range, and for isolations, probably in the 10 to 15 rep range. Take advantage of each of those types of movements. But again, the bread and butter is with the compound movements. And then, so just to finish, also in the frequency of chest training, you're going to train chest about with 2 to 3 overloading chest sessions per week. Personally, I only do 2. But if you find that you're maybe in a chest specialization block, you really want to, you've been training for long enough where it's appropriate, about 5 years or more, and you want to incorporate a chest specialization block, then 3 times per week could be a valid option for you. But for most people, I would recommend that they train 2 times per week with their chest. Hard, overloading, yada yada. Anyways, so to wrap things up, I kind of just want to do like the same old programming of, like, let's say, I have a client come to me and they're like, hey man, I want to build my chest. So a really nice way to program this is to have one harder chest session earlier on in the week, with a little bit more volume, possibly more intensity, and having a lighter session later on in the week with a little bit less volume, a little bit lower intensity. So for example, let's say day 1 you have a barbell bench press for 4x6, and then you have an incline dumbbell bench press for a 4x8. That's 8 total sets of chest volume made up of exclusively the pressing movements, which will have more fatigue built up with them. And so to account for that, let's say for day 2 you have a flat dumbbell bench press for a 3x6, and after that you incorporate a flat dumbbell fly for a 3x12. This is a great way to program to see, pretty solid gains right in the middle of that maximum adaptive range, about 14 sets of chest volume per week. But this is a very valid way to see growth. So yeah, I just wanted to make this informative video just to help you guys out with any programming questions you might have. If you guys are interested in any custom programs or coaching from myself, make sure to click the link down below or shoot me a message on my Instagram. I'd be happy to talk to you guys a little bit more if you want to have me create a program for you and help you out with your fitness journey and goals. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching, and hope you guys have a Merry Christmas.